Private Han stood quietly at the back of the briefing room. He was the only human among 20 alien soldiers. The room smelled of strange scents. The aliens were all bigger, stronger, and louder than him. "Attention!" Captain Tak shouted. The tall, blue-skinned Dravian officer pointed to Han. "This is our new team member, the human, Private Han." The aliens turned to look at Han. Some laughed. Others shook their heads. A massive, fur-covered Urson warrior named Sergeant Goro stepped forward. "This is what they sent us, a human." Goro's voice was deep and loud. "He's half my size. Can he even carry a standard weapon?" Han said nothing. He just watched and listened. Captain Tak raised his hand for quiet. "The Coalition wants humans in combat units. We follow orders." "He won't last a week," someone muttered. After the briefing, Han followed a ship worker to his quarters. The room was small and next to the loud engine room. The bed was too short. The air was too hot for humans. "Sorry about this," said Lieutenant Je, another Korean who worked in communications. She was the only other human on the ship. "They're making it hard for you on purpose." Han nodded. "I expected that." "You don't talk much, do you?" Ji asked. "I watch. I learn," Han said simply. The next day, Sergeant Goro assigned Han to clean the weapons. The standard rifles were heavy, made for stronger alien hands. Han cleaned each one perfectly. "Hey, rookie, catch." A Mokai soldier with red scales threw a heavy box at Han. Han caught it, but the weight pushed him back a step. The aliens laughed. "Not so strong, is he?" the Mokai said, showing his sharp teeth. Han carried the box to the storage room without complaint. On his way back, he heard Captain Tak talking about their mission. "The Orcs pirates have important data on Taraxis. We go in, take the data, get out. Simple." Han listened from the doorway. He noticed a problem with their plan but said nothing. During lunch, Han sat alone. The food was made for aliens. It tasted strange and made his stomach hurt. The aliens watched him struggle with the food and laughed. "Humans are so weak," Goro said loudly. "They need special food, special air, special everything." That afternoon, the squad trained in the simulation room. Han was given old equipment with a half-charged battery. "Let's see how the human does," Captain Tak said. The simulation started. Han moved differently than the aliens, where they charged forward with strength. He moved carefully. When his weapon died, he switched to a simple knife. He completed the training course just behind the middle of the pack. Not the best, but not the worst. "Beginner's luck," Goro said. "In real combat, luck doesn't help." That night, Han wrote notes in his small room. He listed each alien's strengths and weaknesses. He drew the ship's layout from memory. He studied the mission files that Lieutenant Ji secretly shared with him. "Why are you working so hard?" Ji asked. "They'll never accept you." Han looked up from his notes. "I'm not here to be accepted," he said. "I'm here to do my job." "What job is that?" Ji asked. Han was quiet for a moment. "The one they don't know about yet." The next morning, the ship arrived at Taraxis. The desert planet looked harsh and yellow from space. As the squad prepared for landing, Sergeant Goro handed Han the oldest, heaviest armor. "Stay back and guard the ship, rookie," Goro ordered. "Try not to get killed on your first day." Han put on the armor without complaint. His eyes watched everything. His mind recorded every detail. The human rookie was much more than he seemed. The squad landed on planet Taraxis. Hot wind blew sand everywhere. 2 suns burned in the sky. "Human, stay with the ship," Sergeant Goro ordered Han. "We'll get the data. Don't touch anything." Han nodded and watched the aliens march away across the sand. When they were small dots in the distance, he checked his equipment. The old gun they gave him had a cracked power cell. Han fixed it with tape and spare parts. An hour passed. Han stood in the ship's shadow. His eyes scanned the rocky hills around them. Something moved. Then another movement. Han's eyes narrowed. He pressed his comm button. Captain Tak, there are people watching the ship. At least 6. Not friendly. Stop wasting comm time, rookie, Goro growled back. Han watched the hidden figures moving closer. They carried weapons. He made a quick decision. He ran into the ship and activated the alarm system. Red lights flashed, and a loud noise blared across the desert. The hidden figures scattered in surprise. What's happening? Captain Tak's voice came through the comm. Sorkai pirates, Han said calmly. They were about to attack the ship. Suddenly, the comm went silent. Han heard distant explosions. The squad was under attack. Han grabbed extra weapons and ran across the sand toward the explosions. He moved fast and stayed low. When he reached the rocky hills, he saw the situation. The squad was trapped in a narrow canyon. Sorkai pirates fired at them from above. Captain Tak was hurt. Sergeant Goro was trying to help him while shooting back. A flash of bright light hit the aliens' weapons. They stopped working. EMP trap, someone shouted. Weapons down. The aliens panicked. Their high-tech armor and guns were useless. The pirates laughed and moved closer. Han stayed hidden. He pulled out an old knife and a simple projectile gun. These weapons had no electronics. The EMP didn't affect them. He moved silently behind the first pirate and took him down without a sound. He took the pirate's clothes and weapons. 4 more pirates guarded the right side of the canyon. Han threw a rock far to the left. When they looked that way, he shot 2 with his simple gun. The others turned, but Han was already gone. Down in the canyon, Sergeant Goro watched in confusion as pirates began to fall. What's happening? Han appeared beside a wounded Dravian soldier. The alien jumped in surprise. Lie still, Han said. He quickly treated the alien's wound with supplies from his pack. This will stop the bleeding. How do you know Dravian medicine? The soldier asked. Han didn't answer. He moved to Captain Tak next. You disobeyed orders, Tak said weakly. Yes, sir, Han replied as he bandaged the captain's blue arm. The mission was compromised. Someone knew we were coming. More explosions rocked the canyon. Han looked up. They're bringing in bigger weapons. We need to move. Our weapons are dead, Goro growled. We're trapped. Han pulled out more simple weapons from his pack. Knives, bows, and metal spears. These work without power. The aliens stared at the primitive weapons. How do we use these? A Mokai soldier asked. Han showed them quickly, like this. Aim here and here. His hands moved with the skill of someone who had trained for years. Sergeant Goro watched Han with new eyes. You've done this before. Han nodded. Many times. You're not a new recruit, are you? Goro asked. Han looked at the sergeant. For the first time, his eyes showed his true experience. No, Han said simply. I'm not. Captain Tak tried to stand. Then who are you? Han checked his simple watch. I'll explain later. Right now, we have 12 minutes to reach the extraction point before more pirates arrive. He picked up a bow and arrows. Follow me if you want to live. Han led the injured aliens through narrow cracks in the canyon walls. He moved like a shadow. The pirates searched but couldn't find them. How do you know these paths? Captain Tak asked weakly. Han pointed to marks on the rocks. Old signs. Smugglers used these routes for years. They reached a small cave. Han helped the wounded aliens sit down. He gave them water from his pack. We need to get back to the ship, Goro said. Han shook his head. The ship is taken. We need a new plan. The aliens looked at each other with worry. Han took out a small device and began to speak in the pirates' language. The aliens watched in shock. You speak Sorkai? A Mokai soldier asked. Han nodded. He listened to the pirate radio chatter, then turned to the group. They're searching the south area first. We go north around the big rocks, then to their base. Their base. Goro growled. That's suicide. It's where they won't look for us, Han said simply. And where our real target is. Captain Tak tried to stand. What real target? Our mission was to get data from thee. The data was never the real mission, Han interrupted. The real mission is to find who betrayed us. The aliens fell silent. Han checked his weapons. Someone told the pirates we were coming.